Shabbat Shalom. Good morning, YouTube. We are again reading from our Bible today. I am using the Scriptures translation. So, get your coffee, get your Bible, and let's read. We are starting in Numbers chapter 34. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, "Command the children of Israel and say to them, when you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land which falls to you as an inheritance, the land of Canaan to its boundaries. Then your southern border shall be from the wilderness of Sin along the border of Edom, and your southern border shall be eastward from the end of the Salt Sea. Then your border shall turn from the southern side of the ascent of Akrabim, continue to Sin, and be on the south of Kadesh Barnea. And it shall go to Hatzar Adar, and continue to Atzmon. And the border shall turn from Atzmon to the Wadi of Mitzrayim, and it shall end at the sea. As for the western border, you shall have the great sea for a border. This is your western border. And this is your northern border. From the great sea you mark out your border line to Mount Hor. From Mount Hor you mark out your border to the entrance of Hamath, and the edge of the border shall be toward Zedad. And the border shall proceed to Ziphron, and it shall end at Hatzar Enon. This is your northern border. And you shall mark out your eastern border from Hatzar Enon to Shephem, and the border shall go down from Shephem to Riblah on the east side of Ayin, and the border shall go down and reach to the eastern side of the Sea of Kinnereth. And the border shall go down along the Yarden, and it shall end at the Salt Sea. This is your land with its surrounding boundaries. And Moshe commanded the children of Israel, saying, This is the land which you inherit by lot, which Yahweh has commanded to give to the 9 tribes and to the half-tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben, according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad, according to the house of their fathers, have received their inheritance, and the half-tribe of Manasseh has received its inheritance. 2 tribes and the half-tribe have received their inheritance beyond the Yarden of Jericho eastward toward the sunrise. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, These are the names of the men who divide the land among you as an inheritance: Eleazar the priest, and Yehoshua son of Nun. And take 1 leader of every tribe to divide the land for the inheritance. And these are the names of the men: from the tribe of Yehudah, Caleb son of Jephunneh. And from the tribe of the children of Shimon, Shemuel son of Ammihud. From the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad son of Kislon. And the leader from the tribe of the children of Dan, Buki son of Yogli. From the sons of Joseph, a leader from the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Haniel son of Ephod. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel son of Shiftan. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Zebulun, Elitzaphan son of Parnak. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Yissachar, Paltiel son of Azan. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Asher, Ahihud son of Shalomi. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Naphtali, Padahel son of Ammihud. These are the ones Yahweh commanded to divide the inheritance among the children of Israel in the land of Canaan. Once again, I apologize for my pronunciation of Hebrew names. This is the Father laying out the borders of where exactly everything is going to be, and designating who is going to hand out the small pieces of land within their tribe. Chapter 35. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe in the desert plains of Moab by the Yarden of Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel that they shall give the Levites cities to dwell in from the inheritance of their possession. Also give the Levites open land around the cities. And they shall have the cities to dwell in, and their open land for their cattle, and for their herds, and for all their livestock. And the open land of the cities which you give the Levites are from the wall of the city outward 1,000 cubits all around. And you shall measure outside the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, and on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. And the city is in the middle. This is to them the open land for the cities. And the cities which you give to the Levites are the 6 cities of refuge, which you give the manslayer to flee to, and to these you add 42 cities. All the cities which you give to the Levites are 48, these with their open land. And the cities which you give are from the possession of the children of Israel. From the larger tribe you give many, from the smaller you give a few. Each one gives some of its cities to the Levites in proportion to the inheritance that each inherits. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you pass over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall choose cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the manslayer who struck someone mistakenly shall flee there. And they shall be cities of refuge for you from the Redeemer, and the manslayer is not to die until he stands before the congregation for right ruling. And of the cities which you give, 6 are to be cities of refuge. Give 3 cities beyond the Jordan, and give 3 cities in the land of Canaan as cities of refuge. These 6 cities are for refuge for the children of Israel, and for the sojourner, and for the settler in their midst, for anyone who mistakenly strikes someone to flee there. But if he has stricken him with an instrument of iron, so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall certainly be put to death. And if he has stricken him with a stone in the hand, by which one could die, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall certainly be put to death. Or if he has stricken him with a wooden instrument that could kill, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall certainly be put to death. The Redeemer of blood himself puts the murderer to death. When he meets him, he puts him to death. And if he thrusts him through in hatred, or throws an object at him while lying in wait, so that he dies, or in enmity he strikes him with his hand so that he dies, the one who struck him shall certainly be put to death, for he is a murderer. The Redeemer of blood puts the murderer to death when he meets him. But if he pushes him suddenly without enmity, or throws an object at him without lying in wait, or uses a stone by which a man could die, throwing it at him without seeing him, so that he dies, while he was not his enemy or seeking his harm, then the congregation shall judge between him who struck someone and the Redeemer of blood according to these right rulings. And the congregation shall rescue the manslayer from the hand of the Redeemer of blood, and the congregation shall return him to the city of refuge where he had fled. And he shall remain there until the death of the high priest who was anointed with the set-apart oil. But if the manslayer at any time goes outside the limits of the city of refuge where he fled, and the Redeemer of blood finds him outside the limits of his city for refuge, and the Redeemer of blood executes the manslayer, he is not guilty of blood, because he should have remained in his city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the manslayer is to return to the land of his possession. And these shall be for a law of right ruling to you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whoever strikes a being, the murderer shall be executed by the mouth of witnesses. But one witness does not bear witness against someone to die. And take no ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of death, but he shall certainly be put to death. And take no ransom for him who has fled to his city of refuge to return to dwell in the land before the death of the priest. And do not profane the land where you are, for blood profanes the land, and the land is not pardoned for the blood that is shed on it, except by the blood of him who shed it. And do not defile the land which you inhabit, in the midst of which I dwell, for I, Yahweh, am dwelling in the midst of the children of Israel. So here is some interesting rules. There will be 6 cities in the land that if someone kills by accident, they're not put to death. However, they got to go live in these cities and stay there, or the deceased person's family could murder them, or could kill them. It is a punishment to have to stay in those cities, but it's not as bad as like prison. I mean, you have a whole city, as opposed to prison when you just have a little cell. So you are restricted, but not by terribly a lot. However, if you don't follow the rules, they're free to kill you. It's a very, very different concept from what we're used to today. Chapter 36. And the heads of the fathers of the clans of the children of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, of the clans of the son of Joseph, came near and spoke before Moshe and before the leaders, the heads of the fathers of the children of Israel, and said, Yahweh commanded my master to give the land as an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel. And my master was commanded by Yahweh to give the inheritance of our brother Zelophehad to his daughters. Now, if they are married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then their inheritance shall be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they marry, and taken from the lot of our inheritance. And if the yobel of the children of Israel takes place, then their inheritance shall be added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they marry, and their inheritance taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers. And Moshe commanded the children of Israel according to the word of Yahweh, saying, What the tribe of the sons of Joseph speaks is right. This is the word which Yahweh has commanded for the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, Let them marry who is good in their eyes, but let them marry only within the clan of their father's tribe. And the inheritance of the children of Israel is not to change hands from tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Israel is to cling to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. And every daughter possessing an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel is to be the wife of one of the clan of her father's tribe, so that the children of Israel possess each inheritance of his fathers. Thus the inheritance is not to change hands from one tribe to another, but every tribe of the children of Israel is to cling to its own inheritance. As Yahweh commanded Moshe, so did the daughters of Zelophehad. For Mahlah, Tirzah, and Hoglah, and Milcah and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married to the sons of their father's brothers. And they were married into the clans of the children of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of their father's clan. These are the commandments and the right rulings which Yahweh commanded the children of Israel by the hand of Moshe in the desert plains of Moab by the Yarden of Jericho. So, little short chapter there. There was concern of what about the daughters who inherited, where there was no male relatives to take the inheritance, and the father says, yes, the daughters should get an inheritance then, but they didn't want tribal land changing hands. They're like, well, then she should give it up if she marries outside of our clan. But the father says, no, they just have to, if a female has an inheritance because there were no male relatives, then she has to marry within the clan. Now, I mean, we're talking a couple 100,000 people. This is not exactly inbreeding. Yeah, that a lot of, Manasseh was one of the smaller clans, but this was for anyone. There were still thousands of people, thousands of males, I think, if I remember correctly, of what the census was. Thousands of males to choose from. So it's not like, you married this cousin or this cousin, But they didn't want tribal lines getting messed up because it could start fights later. But anyway, that is the end of the chapter for today. And it is the end of Numbers. We have finished another book. So thanks for coming along with me today. I hope you are reading along in your own Bible. Don't take my word for it. And I hope you join us again next Saturday. May the Father bless you. Shalom.